Okay, so let me get on to this real quick. So, what does this have to do? Yeah. Went too far. Okay, no, I didn't go far enough. Yeah. Keep going. There's a lot of text here, okay? With this right here. This is a spoiler for Legs video tomorrow. And what does this? First, everyone's looking at the glasses reflection over here, but that's incorrect. That's a red herring, because if you actually look a lot closer, you can see that's just the video he's editing at the current moment. So it can't be that at the current moment. So what is it? We're sitting there, we're trying to enhance, we're trying to figure out what it is. Someone's asking for what farm to make. Obviously, a dirt farm's the best farm to make. Obviously, there's no way to put it. But then someone asked, hey, can you add an arrow pointing at it? So I did. There's an arrow pointing at the circle, which has the question mark. Now, why does that matter? Because sometimes you can't see the arrow pointing at the question mark. So I put an arrow pointing at the question mark, pointing at the arrow. Arrow pointing at the arrow, pointing at the circle, pointing, which is around the around the question mark. Now, if we continue on, arrow pointing at arrow, pointing at arrow, pointing at circle, pointing, collecting the you know what I mean, okay? You know exactly what I mean. But then again, I asked, does this make it easier? They say no, it doesn't. So I circled both the starting arrow and the end circle, which has the question mark in it, so you know where to start. And then I also put guidelines right here, and right here. So this arrow goes to this arrow, goes to this arrow, goes to this circle, which goes to that question mark, and you know that because it's all circled and there's guidelines. And then I asked, then I explained it all. See? And someone asked if I have 3D, someone said I had 3D Paint open, and I'm like, yes, I do. It never gets closed. Case in point, right here. Now, how does that go to this? Well, that's simple. They still couldn't figure it out. So I put the start line right here. It says start. It's underlined and everything. It goes up here. And you have more guidelines that says follow right there. And it goes over here and over there and over there. And then that says end right here. It says end. So if you go in, someone said, TNT said they didn't understand where it starts. So I had to put another thing right here. Start, end, start, goes to arrow, goes to there, goes to this. You know what I mean, okay? And then there's the end. End has an arrow that goes like this and goes to end. You know what I mean, because this makes sense. And then they asked, where is the end? End here. Goes to this arrow, goes to there. But why is that a different arrow? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Then they asked, how do you know where the end ends, where it ends? So this is where the end ends. Goes to the end here, to the arrow. But they're all different arrows. That doesn't matter, okay? See, I even said, is it the fact that you didn't have, that I used different arrows? They said, no, it's because you didn't highlight the test. So I flipped everything by 90 degrees and I highlighted. I've actually, if you read right here, it says I don't know how to highlight. I don't know how to highlight. It's impossible, okay? It is not possible. Highlighting's not a thing. So I went and I underlined everything, including the follow right here. And if you go, pull out a calculator. I'm trying to see what we got. I said I could figure out the problem if you just give me some free space. So we need to figure out what the volume of the head was. So volume, it's volume equals 4/3 pi times pi times radius cubed. Okay, remember that, cubed. So if you think about it, radius of the head right there, and then there's the height of the head also, because it's not like a perfect circle, so you have to put in the height also. So I did this wrong, but anyways, radius X, pi, it's very tasty. Lagundo, right here, in pink, right? And I said, oh, but what is it? What we don't have any of the numbers. And then I was like, do you think that Legs stays in heaven because he's too lives in fear of what he's created? And then TNT, the mad lad, he's like, X has to be at least 6, R has to be 2.5 inches, or 2.75. Ugh. So I put all that number in and got 8.735. And if we read this recap, we all know that the volume of Legs' head is about 7.34 units, probably inches, but that makes no sense. We're moving on. Which leads to a highlighted message where it says where the endpoint is, and the endpoint goes to the endpoint, which is circled. Still following? Good. So from there, we need to go to the double underline start line, which goes to the start line, which goes to the first arrow, which goes to the direction of the arrows. You can follow. You first, second, or third guideline. It doesn't matter. Just follow a guideline. And if you follow that, you go to the first arrow, to the second arrow, to the third arrow, goes to the circle. The circle goes to the question mark. And if you don't know where any of them start, they're all circled. Okay? They're circled. Luce is sitting here confused. Just complete confused, but it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, okay? So continue on. I don't know what that is. That actually confuses me. So continue on. 8:08. See, the server crashes at exactly 8:08 p.m. every day. What does that mean? Server crashes at symbol right there. At symbol. 8:08. 8:08. Dancing person. See, it looks like a dancing person if you put it on his side. Dancing person? That's a person. That person has a head. You know what else is a head? Legs. This person is a L. Legs stands for legs. Legs has a new video coming out. New video is questionable. Right? And then TNT pointed out that all this goes to that, which is a question mark. And that's an infinite loop. We can't have infinite loops. Why is someone pinging me? I can't mentally handle that right now. Stop pinging. And then I was like, no, that is not a dot. That is not a dot underneath it. That is an I. You know what else had an I? The legs 100-day dimensional or drop train. So this is obviously multiverse lore. This is a multiverse lore video. But then we're talking like, hey, 100 doors, dimension doors. It's a mod from Dimension Doors. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. It's a period on the bottom and it looks like a mod. That looks like an I. So they said flip side. What if speeding up death goes to the universe? I said, how so? They were talking about how it's like the voids between doors and stuff. I'm like, you know what else is between doors? The ocean. Obviously, this is connected to the multiverse lore. Ocean, which has a boat in it. That comes in handy later. And you know what? The ocean is the opposite of fire. TNT is a genius. An absolute genius. But you know what else is the opposite? The opposite of Minecraft is Fortnite. You know what else? And Legs, he's played Fortnite before. But you know what else Legs has played? Among Us. Right? We don't care about 5D chess. So, obviously the 100 Days Ocean goes to Among Us, which is Legs died in the first Among Us stream in 3 seconds to me. To me. So, what does that mean? Well, 3 seconds. Multiverse has 3 syllables in it, right? I can't spell. You know what else has 3 syllables? Season 4. You know what else has the word 4 in it? Golf. When you're about to hit someone. You know what has hitting people in it? Deceit. You know what Deceit is? It's a game show. You know what else is a game show? The Truman Show. It's all a simulated reality, right? Boom, boom, boom. Deceit. If we continue on down. And you know what else is simulated reality? The Matrix. What does it mean? Boom, 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 boom. Simulated reality, the Matrix. And then we sat there and we're like, we understand everything. Everything makes sense now. Or does it? You see, anyone could have gone to this point specifically. Anyone. But that doesn't mean it's the end. That just means it's a red herring. You know what else is a red herring? It's a fish. Captain Fish was in Season 2 and Season 3 of Legs Ocean builds. So obviously, boom, we went the wrong way. Goes to Captain Fish. Captain Fish is obviously the one. You see, this explains the video and the question mark. I apparently need to go to therapy. It doesn't matter. I understand everything.